NBA 2K25's builder revealed something that's super interesting to me, connected to the badges and probably the overall game. And it's going to change a lot, in my opinion. I'm very interested to see how this plays out. We're going to dive into some really key things with badges and break down some secrets here as we go forward. Hope you guys are enjoying my series as we covered inside scoring, shooting, playmaking, and defense. And those you can find on the channel. And today we're going to dive just a little bit deeper into the ones we haven't talked about, specifically because I wanted to make a video kind of discussing it in detail and giving you guys the rundown to go forward. Here we go. Let's go and just check out very quickly the builder. The reason I want to check it out is because if you don't know, well, the way the system works is blue is for finishing, and then green is for shooting, orange is for playmaking, red is for defense, and then last but not least for physicals, kind of cream, I guess. So those are the colors. Guess what? There's a new color in town, and it's called offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds. And it's not tied to defense anymore. I remember I would purposely put things on certain attributes to boost up the build in certain ways. This year, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to do that and unlock specific badges or specific things with it. I think it's going to be separate. And this is the biggest tip and the biggest secret, is something we got to discover once the game releases, is how this system is going to work. How is it going to play out? Not only for badges, but for takeovers, as you can see on the far right there. Takeovers for those and for the actual badges. And then on top of that, for your build, because wasting points on rebounds now for guards might be an issue. I think it might cost you your build, possibly. Or maybe you can make an amazing build with it. And we're going to talk about it and break it down and get into details. Because guess what? I actually have the badges ready to go to show you so that you can see for yourself. Okay. So you're looking at the only two badges that are actually in this game. I'm going to kind of back out so you guys can see all of the badges in the game are very good, right? Great ones. But there's only two rebound badges, okay? So I don't understand the logic here from 2K. And until we get the game in our hands or they explain it to me, unless you want to leave a comment, and if you want to wait 4 months after the game's release and then leave a comment and be smart, come on, bro, cut it out. But so this is important, and I think it's interesting. I want to dive deeper into it and talk about it. So these are two typical things, okay? You got box out beast, increases your ability to box out and fight for good rebounding position. Then you have rebound chaser, improves the player's ability to track down rebounds from further distance. These are typical. We know what they are. Nothing special as far as like, okay, cool, these are for big men mostly. But they're separate categories in the builder. And this is why it's making me a little bit unhinged here. And I know that y'all probably like, hey man, it ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. It is that deep, folks. It is that deep. You know why? Because when you look at it, there's a lot of badges, and now there's a category in the actual builder separate from them. So we'll see how this affects the system of your build, because you only need a certain amount of attributes for specific things and you can't waste them. So I'm interested, as this is really gonna shut down a lot of like guard builds who are getting very high rebounds, or are they still gonna let us play with it? Again, it's just a different color to most people, but I do believe it is gonna play a role because the way they're doing it and the way they presented it so far. And there's no information just yet on this, so it's pretty much a guessing game for the moment till we sort it out. So I wanted to kind of get into a couple things uh, about rebounding. We're done with that, but we want to go into the actual last badges. This is a miscellaneous category. And again, these are also more general since there's a new system in place. You gotta take that into account. So, pogo stick. What is required for pogo stick? It says allows players to quickly recover and go back up for another jump when they land. After the rebound, this could be after a rebound, shot attempt, block attempt, or even jump shot. So that's going to be interesting how that's tied into stuff. You remember a lot of stuff goes into some physicals. Right now, there's a thing called agility in the actual builder that can play a role into this. And that's what I'm trying to explain. And my hype train right now about some of that stuff is really more so just kind of highlighting how the builder also changed the physicals. So now stamina is not a part of the game, but agility is. So will agility be tied to the badges we're showcasing now? We're talking about. You will see, but I'm definitely interested. And so now let's get into brick wall. Usually is tied into strength. We'll see what are the requirements and how that plays a role. It basically gives you a chance to set screens and also drain the enemy's stamina. So that is very good. And then there's slippery off ball. When attempting to get open off screens, the players more effectively navigate through traffic. This is important. I think that there's plenty, and I mean plenty of cool play styles off ball that could be great. And again, curious about what they're using for attributes. The past is the past. This is a new day, and this is going to get interesting about how they, value these things. And those badges are pretty much the new ones. And I'm super interested in the builder side of it because am I going to be limited with my rebounds for a guard? I like having rebounds when you play twos or threes. It can be very important for your team as a guard if you can get a lot of boards versus other guards. So I like rebounds on guards just a little bit. If I could put a couple extra points, I will. But it has its own category now and it's separate from defense. So how will the badge system work with that? And what does it mean for the game as we go forward? That's the question. So those are some of the key things from what I've noticed when it comes to the badges. This is the full series. If this is the first video you watch, we did have 4 other videos breaking down all the categories, and this was the miscellaneous one. So make sure you go check out those. Make sure you check out my other channels, have giveaways on those, and make sure you lock in, man. We want to have yourself a good time. Right? Hope y'all enjoying. See you on the next one. It should be popping up right now, man. Breaking down some takeovers. See you there.